Welcome to part 4 of my sermon, which was preached at St. Paul's Church of England in Effort, called The God of Surprises. I'm going to start this part of the sermon with the reading from Acts, which has been part of most of my sermon so far. So when they met together, they asked him, Lord, are you at this time going to restore the kingdom to Israel? He said to them, It is not for you to know the times or dates the Father has set by his own authority, but you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes on you, and you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem and in all Judea and Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. After he said this, he was taken up before their very eyes, and a cloud hid him from their sight. They were looking intently up into the sky as he was going, when suddenly 2 men dressed in white stood beside them. Men of Galilee, they said, why do you stand here looking into the sky? Jesus had been tried by a cruel pagan empire in an alien language, where he was condemned to die the death of a foreigner in his own land. For decades after his death, Rome pitilessly butchered Christians for the entertainment of the crowd. Nero was known for dressing up Christians in animal skins and having them torn to pieces in the arena by wild dogs. But then, one day, early in the 4th century, a miracle happened. The Emperor of Rome became a Christian, and gradually successive emperors got rid of the old false gods and made their empire a Christian empire. The empire that killed Jesus became the home of the very first state church and the place of origin for at least 2 of history's largest Christian traditions, which together are widely responsible for making Christianity the world religion that it is today. Surprise! It's not always easy for me as a convinced Protestant to acknowledge and explain the influence of the Roman Church to other Protestants. But there it is. Make of it what you will. In the Middle Ages, on the 31st of October, 1517, an obscure German Augustinian academic published in Latin a thesis which he hoped might spur his beloved Roman Catholic Church to deal with its internal problems. He wanted the church which he so loved and served to be the best that it could be. Eventually, this led to his excommunication by Pope Leo X in 1521, and Emperor Charles V declared him an outlaw and a heretic. One might have thought that this would have been the end of this troublemaker and his ideas, but Martin Luther translated the Bible into German, the language of his people, and was the inspiration for a religious revolution from which the whole world benefits to this very day. Surprise! Late in the 15th century, a king of England was born. He was a devout Catholic and married into the most powerful Catholic royal family in Europe. His knowledge of religious matters was so exceptional that he was able to write a religious work that prompted the Pope to name him Defender of the Faith, an act unique in the history of the British royal family. If you were going to select the king that was least likely to bring the Reformation to England, then he must have been, I think he would have been in the top 10 at that time, and perhaps even number 1. Surprise! This king is known to us all as Henry VIII, the Tudor monarch who was instrumental in propagating and legalizing the Protestant faith in England. He was the founder of the Church of England, which in time would become an international, worldwide Christian community. In the midst of impossible circumstances, never forget that our God is the God of surprises. Du Guinness.